Hello there, I'm Richard and I'm interested in modern careers and what we have to do to be successful in organisations as we navigate ourselves through sometimes tricky waters. And I coach and I teach and I also write career-minded business books, and it's great fun and I love what I do. When we're job hunting, we need to be brilliant at interviews. So a good question to ask is, how can I be great at interviews? And there are a few simple tips. The first thing is eyes. Make eye contact. If you look at your shoes, you don't look very confident. If you look at the ceiling, you know, it's tempting for the interviewer to look up too and see, is there something interesting up there? Because the answer's not written on the ceiling. Look at someone for a beat of two. 1, 2, look away. Thank you for your question. The answer is this, and hold their eye contact for a bit. That feels natural because that will give you presence and confidence. Also, you need to be smartly dressed and be confident and smile. People buy people, and I would rather buy a smiley person than a kind of grumpy misery person. So if you're, you think about something you like and say, I love being a cook, it's great fun, it's blooming hard work, but I like meeting the customers, I like buying the food, I like dreaming up new menus, and I love it when someone puts their head around the kitchen and says, well done Rich, that was a great dinner. I think, thank you, wow, what a nice job to be in. If you're smiling happy, they'll love that and they'll buy you. Answer the question is an obvious thing to say, but so many people talk for too long. If there's a clock in the room, there's one, there's one, there's one, catch sight of the sweep hand, and if you've talked for longer than 60 seconds, stop and say, have I answered your question? If you have, they'll say, yes, thanks. If you haven't, they'll ask you another one. In terms of answering the question, put some numbers in. Because if you say, oh, I managed a team, we worked really hard, it was really good, anyone can say those things. Anyone can say those things. But if you say, I managed a team of 10 people, split into 2 groups of 5, with a 100-mile separation, the numbers give us a sense of scope and scale. If you say, yeah, I'm a great salesman, that doesn't sound quite as good as saying, I won £3 million of business last year by visiting 100 customers and taking orders from 90 of them, and the last 10 I've got on my sights for the next 6 months. People can think, 90 out of 100, £3 million, I'll hire him. And now the reason for this is quite simple. Numbers tell us what we've done, they're easy to remember, and they indicate what our past behaviour has been like, because past behaviour is the best guide to future performance. Now, finally, there are some things not to do. This happened to me when I was interviewing somebody. The phone rang and the candidate stood up and said, oh, hi, I'm in an interview. Yeah, it's funny I can't talk now. I'm supposed to be answering these questions. But, oh, you want me for an interview? Oh, I could come next Thursday. That would be great. Yeah, thanks. Bye. Bye-bye. Please, if you have a phone, switch it off. Likewise, read your CV. I had a candidate who said to me once, oh, did I do that? Could I have a look at my CV, Richard? And I kind of thought, well, if you don't know what's in your CV, how are you answering my questions? And of course, finally, make sure you get a good night's sleep. Have a glass of water in front of you, because if you have coffee, it might dehydrate you or go bitter. There's nothing worse than having a sip of cold coffee and going, ugh, that's yucky. If you have a glass of water, you can just sip it and keep your mouth moist. So, those are some cool tips that will help you to have great interviews.